Hello, hello. Hey, good evening. Good evening, Periscope family. Come on in the room. How's everyone this evening? It's 8:02 Eastern. It's Dr. Noelle. On time as usual. But you know what? Last week, I didn't scope at all. You guys, I was not feeling well. So Tuesday was my first scope back this week. Feeling fine. Had to just get over some allergies. And thanks for holding it down. Thanks for being there when I got back. You know how social media is. Going one day, they're like, Dr. Noelle, who? But you guys are different. You guys are special. Thanks for joining. Let me know who you are as you come in. Would love to know your name so I can greet you. If you're new to the scope, just hang in there a minute so that I can introduce myself to a few people at a time. Cool, cool, cool. Now, don't ask me why. Usually I can see who's coming in. Periscope is liable to do anything, so I can't see your name if you're coming in. Anyone want to give me a test? Give me some test hearts out there so I can know if I can see those also. Hearts, hearts, hearts. Well, Periscope's not cooperating. However, inspired woman, yay! Thanks for joining. Thank you for the green hearts. They're beautiful. Almost money green. Yes, love those hearts. Excellent. Well, let's get started. I am doing great. Now tell me, what's your name, inspired woman? Would love to know. Would love to know. Farah, you've been on before, haven't you? Thanks for being there. Thanks for being there. Well, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Noelle Mubaira, former rocket scientist for NASA, IT vice president in the banking world, and ordained minister. B&B Group, Kevin. Hey, my brother. Love to see you out there. I am doing all those things, taking all those gifts and actually putting them to work for you. What I do is leadership strategist. I am a leadership strategist. I do leadership strategies for individuals and for businesses. So what that means is I help leaders to expand their capacity. Who is a leader? There are at least 5 levels of leadership. If you are a parent, you're a leader. I'm not talking about some title. I'm not talking about you wearing a collar. I'm not talking about you got ordained like, I did and Kevin did. And, I'm not talking all about that. I'm talking about knowing your place in society as a leader, having influence. If you are a parent of one, you have influence over at least somebody, right? So working with people to just take all those old mindsets and just expand their capacity, change their mindset, get out of the boxes that we are in based on belief systems and things we've been really taught and things we, didn't know weren't true because we hadn't figured it out yet. So thankfully, God has given me some great experience in all levels of leadership, about 18 years in corporate leadership. Probably more. I don't feel like telling all those details. How many years? Probably more like, my goodness. My first, oh goodness. Yeah, more like 25 in corporate leadership. More like 18 in ministry leadership. and then various levels. So I was ordained in '09, but before that, having served in leadership for about 25 years. That is what God had used to prepare me for this. Ba-ding! Serving Your Way to Success is the book that I have just written. Let's see how the lighting is. How's it? Better over here? Getting all kind of glare. But makes you know it's nice and shiny. It's a gorgeous cover, y'all. So, we talked about some of the highlights of the book last time. But we didn't even open a page. We didn't even open a page, and we had a full, good, almost half hour on the last scope. So please go back. I'm going to recommend homework. It's going to be a quiz the next time, okay? Because I'm a teacher. Can't you tell? Oh, gosh. Looking for... Oh, okay. You have to do a little research. Last scope is easy. That's, you know how Periscope will document in chronological order. So that's there, but I wanted you to see the talk on why I wrote the book down at a leaders workshop for the week in Atlanta. And I spoke on the book there with Dr. Patricia Bailey. That's on YouTube. And I did that way because we had a bad signal and I couldn't scope it. I hope you go back and get that, because every time I talk about it, I got so many reasons I wrote it. And now we're going to talk about each chapter table of contents, a little bit about what each we're going to peek inside today, right? So I won't be talking about the outside, which talks about why you should read the book. So there, we talked about that last time. Hi, I am in ministry. I am ministry. Perfect handle. Ministry definition is quiz. Anybody? Kevin Kelly. What's the definition of a minister? If you can type in, yes, to serve. Literally, servant. That's the one. That's how we came. I say we because Kevin and I have been in ministry together for ages. We came to know ministry, but you know, it's not taught anymore. It's very rare because people get like offended and think that they're just going to clean bathrooms and that's all serving means. But guess what? We need to expand our mind and get out of the mindset of serving as being some kind of lowly task. Hey, Yvonne Pradier! Serving is, according to Jesus, the servant. Yes. That's a little off topic, but the servant is, the greatest is the servant of all. That's what Jesus said. That is actually chapter 12. If you can find a better leadership model than Jesus, you go ahead and try it, but I'm going to stick with what's tried and true. He, instead of getting, a bullhorn and the crowds and crowds, he spent most of his time with training leaders who would change society and culture. So that's what I think we ought to just try that. As opposed to the old structures. Go to Mumbai, India, and 1 million people show up and everybody's excited and they don't know what you quite said, but everybody's cheering and you get your power shot. Here's your microphone and you're doing like this and there's the 1 million people and then you leave. And then nobody follows up. And so what happened? What did you do? Did anybody follow up to see if those people were discipled? Hey, Miss Lexi Haynes. Thanks for joining. Thank you for joining. So we're talking about the book today. Hello, prophetess. And we're talking about real changes in mindsets and structures. So I don't know who we really serve when we do stuff like that, except by grace, the Holy Spirit will allow some connections to be made. But I'm talking about effectiveness so that we can transform society. That's what we're trying to get at. Because we've been absent from society over in the church, four walls, with tambourines. And I'm a worshiper from the word go. I'll shout you down, but guess what? After that's over with, the world is looking for manifestation. That's the scripture of the sons of God. Really, the earth is groaning for that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I want to just talk about the table of contents in the book, you guys. So, the Elisha principle, don't skip past the introduction. You guys got to get, when you go in my bio, you can have it shipped to you. It'll be there. Like, I got mine in less than a week. I mean, the big package when they printed it. So if you see me, like, I'll be in Dallas next week. No, 2 weeks. And then I'll be probably in Nigeria. And, if I'm all over the place, I don't have to touch the book because it's going to be printed and sent directly from you worldwide. So the deal is, don't skip the introduction. I used to skip it until I wrote a book. Now I know how important introductions are. The foreword is by Dr. Patricia Bailey, who is a best-selling author of Women Risk Takers, and of several other ones. Something about Walking into Destiny. Also, Gary Washington, the founder of Ascension Development out of Dallas, has done an endorsement. Could have done more endorsements. Lexi, do you have time to type an endorsement? I know you received your book. So far, how's it going, my love? How's it going? So after the introduction, you know what? I don't want to change the phone, but I guess I have to because I need two hands. All right, bear with me, you guys. I'm going to turn it this way and pray for the signal to keep. All right, being obedient. All right, let's see. How's that? That's too far. I don't want to be that far. Okay. So the introduction really is good. It really talks about what is success, first of all. We're talking about a book about success. And people have their whole different mindset of what success is. And the Bible gives us a good meaning of good success. If you look in Joshua 1 and 8. The Hebrew word closest to success would be shalom. That's really it. So that's your other homework. Find out what shalom is. You'll get it here. You'll get it here as it applies to getting to next levels in your walk as a leader. The Elisha Principles, Chapter 1. What is the Elisha Principle? Well, I say that for scholars who know the relationship between Elisha and Elijah. This is one of the key relationships that we study here, but we also have some New Testament principles and examples. My personal journey is in chapter 1 as well, as part of the Elisha principle, because I lived it. I lived it for 16 years. I was like an Elisha to a very powerful woman of God, Apostle Marcia Press, who is now with the Lord. And up until the day she died, I believe I was the last phone call she made. I believe so. I can say that I was with her to the end. The Lord put us together. And I didn't realize how valuable that was until I realized, wait a minute, that didn't happen that often, even in the Bible. Paul had, for example, churches at Ephesus and Corinth, etc. But then he had the inner circle of sons in the faith, like Timothy and Philemon and Onesimus and Titus, and a few others. So I just realized, this is not necessarily common. And the Lord just began to impress upon me, I really got a responsibility to share on my journey. And my own success keys are in here. What are they? Well, they are keys to unlock purpose in your life. And they are direct quotes of mine, sort of wisdom keys. Let me see. What's a good one? Number 2, nothing replaces real destiny relationships. That's when I'm talking about my journey. That's one of my success keys. Because Americans, I tell you what, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the internet or Facebook or what. But destiny relationships are key to your development. I mean, we don't take time to build friendships anymore. It's like, I texted you. So, I mean, does that supposed to count? Does it count for like a conversation? No. Yeah, drop the mic on that one. And so when we cultivate those kinds of relationships, really, people don't like it because then they're accountable to someone. And then, then they can't hide the stuff they're hiding. That's mainly what's up with those folks that don't want to be in destiny relationships. The authority of a servant is chapter 2. That's an awesome chapter. All kind of case studies on that. Oh, okay. Let me just give you this. Deliver the uncompromised word of the Lord, and it will have the same power as the one sending the word. We are his ambassadors in the earth. So, the authority of a servant. Servant has authority because they were told to do it by an authority that's in authority. And they're under authority properly. So therefore, that kind of authority flows down. Chapter 3 is called Serving in the Same Spirit as Your Leader. How about that one? What does that mean? Well, I mean, for example, the leader of your family. If you say I'm a Daniels, that's my maiden name. I was with my cousins in Atlanta, and we all it's just like a Daniels code, right? Humility at work, amen. So the first thing he asks is not if my son plays an instrument, but what instrument does he play? It's like Daniel's instrument. That's just how it goes. And so the same spirit as your leader is like if you're Daniel's, you're in music some kind of way. Thank God, that gene has been so strong. My great-grandfather was maybe like a Richard Smallwood. He was like a virtuoso with like 7 on all these instruments, French horn, piano, and think violin, and went all around the states, leading choirs, so I don't think he was ever had a lesson. I don't think so. But anyway, so to say Daniels is to say music should be to say your leader, be it your boss at work, be it anyone who you are a part of their organization. You're responsible for their name. So if you come in there and say, Kevin Kelly, he is known for excellence and training leaders in business. So if I come in there and, first of all, I'm late. Second of all, I look a wreck. Probably chewing gum and say, I'm with B2B group. And we're here to see if you want us to come speak for you and train your people. It's not the same spirit as the leader, correct? So what you're doing really is your position has to be in line and in tune, or really you can harm the whole organization. And if it's a move of God happening, woe be it unto you to harm a move of God because somebody saw you ushering and had an attitude, and they stayed to service because your attitude. See, now people, I just said I'm busy.